This video we're going to talk a little bit about lower back, so our lumbar spine and our pelvic positioning as well. So in terms of our spinal posture, our lower back should have what we call a lordosis, so it should curve slightly inwards into here. Now that's directly influenced by our pelvic positioning. So if I bring my hands onto the top of my pelvis here, I can imagine that my pelvis is like the top of a bucket. If I stand onto the side here, what I'm going to look to do is, can I tilt this pelvis? Can I rock it backwards and forwards? It's almost like I'm trying to imagine that I've got a bucket of water that's the top of my leggings. If I tip forwards, so I'm tilting my pelvis forwards, I'm tipping water at the front of the bucket. If I took it under, I might tilt my tailbone under, tipping water at the back of that imaginary bucket. What we want to try and do when we're trying to align our lumbar spine and our pelvis into a nice neutral position is we're going to find that neutral position. So often it's quite nice to be able to go to the extremes forwards and backwards, come gently in until we find that central position. And then we know that we've got a neutral pelvis, which is going to help to neutralise the lordosis in our lumbar spine.
So, lumbar spine mobility exercises. As I was standing and I showed you that pelvic tilt in standing, when we come into this position, again, we're going to bring feet underneath our knees, so hip width apart, feet flat onto the bed. To begin with, we're going to imagine that we can hold onto the top of our pelvis, and we're just going to try and tip our pelvis backwards and forwards. So I'm imagining that I'm working into here. So I'm really increasing the arch in my back to tip that pelvis all the way forward, and then I'm flattening that down. So I'm tucking my tailbone under to flatten my lower back down. So these pelvic tilt exercises are a really nice exercise to do to help to mobilise to begin with through your pelvis and into your lower back. Another couple of nice exercises to do to work into that lower back, especially first thing in the morning if your back feels really stiff and tight. Really nice to do some of these before you even try and sit up in bed. Just gets our body's natural synovial fluid, which is our body's natural WD-40 if you like, flowing within our joints. So we can hug one knee into our chest, just very gently. So to begin with, they might only come this far, but as you repeat and repeat, you'll find that they'll start to come in that little bit further. So you can do one at a time, or you can bring two knees in and just gently hug the knees towards the chest. Once they're there, you can circle the knees around and go the other way. Really nice to just gently start and loosen and mobilise through our lower back. Another exercise to help to loosen there is to just gently roll our knees from side to side. Again, first thing in the morning, this might feel really quite stiff and awkward, so you just gently start with a small range of movement, and then you can gradually increase until you find that you can take your knees much further over, and that's really going to help to loosen through your lower back.